Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to another brand new episode of E Kriegs Outdoors. So I'm here in Brazil, and I thought I would make a cool video for you guys of what my favorite things in Brazil are so far. Now, I've only been here, getting close to 3 weeks now, and I live in Curitiba, and I've only been out of Curitiba like one time. We went to a city on the coast called Matinos, and that was super fun, and I want to explore other parts of Brazil. But since I've just been in Curitiba, that is all I've really seen so far. So keep that in mind as I go through this, and things will change as time go forward. But so far, these are my favorite things about Brazil after being here for right around 3 weeks. The first thing I love about Brazil so far is the food. Now, typical Brazilian food is like rice, beans, and lots of meat. That's what they eat for like lunch and dinner. That would be like a typical Brazilian dish. Now they have names for the different ones. Like there's one called feijoada. I hope I pronounced that right. My Portuguese isn't very good yet. Rice, beans, and meat are just the staples, and that is what I really like. I love how they cook it here and the spices they use. It is really good. I got this little to-go box one. It had like rice, beans, meat, an egg on top, and it was just so good. It's just like down home, good, like almost country food where I'm from. The next thing I love about being in Curitiba, I've never lived in the city before, and there are so many options on the food. We got really good sushi one day. You can get fast food. You can get like McDonald's and Burger King. You cannot get away from that anywhere you go in the world. I haven't got that yet, but you can get pretty much any kind of food you want. They have Arabian food. We had kebab, which is like Turkish food. You can get Korean food. You can get pizza, pretty much anything you want. I will say the pizza I've had here has not been that great. So maybe stick to the pizza back in the States. But there are a ton of options here in Curitiba. The next thing I love about the food is that they have like bakeries that have tons of pastries everywhere. There is this thing in Brazil called pão de queijo, and it is like super big. It's this like little bread with cheese in it, and the cheese has like a very like kind of like weird consistency. It's like a cheese tapioca thing. I don't know how to explain it. It takes some time to get used to. It's not like weird. It's just a little weird when you bite in it right away, but it's actually really good, and they have tons of other good pastries as well. They have just anything you could think of. They have these little teardrop ones with chicken or frango, as they say here, in it, and just tons of pastries. If you like bread and you like cheese, oh, this is just a great place to live. Guys, and when I say there's a lot of bakeries, I mean there are a lot. There's like, you can't walk down a block without seeing a place that sells pão de queijo or some of all these different pastries they have. They also have these things that are really good. I'll throw up a picture of them. They're like kind of like empanadas. I don't know how to explain them, but they have ones with carne in them, which is just meat. Oh, and it is so good. Those are some of my favorite things. I got empanadas one night, and I got ones with carne, some with frango, which is chicken, and then some with dulce de leche. I have never had that before, and oh, it was so good. I love sweets. Another big thing they have down here that I cannot get enough of, this is probably my favorite thing by far. It's called banana frita. It's just these little fried bananas. There's just one place that makes them. It's like 10 reales to order them, and then you get them delivered. It's maybe like 10 more reales to get it delivered. So almost like $4 to deliver a plate of these things. And they're just fried bananas, and they are so good. They fry them in like this certain way where it's not like you fry chicken. I don't know, it stays soft on the outside. Oh my God, I love sweets and I love fruit. They are so freaking good. I ate a whole plate of them. One of the drinks they have here is called caipirinhas. That's like the official drink of Brazil, and it is really good, guys. Here's the ingredients that are in it. It has like cachaça, which is like Brazilian alcohol, and then it also has lime and sugar, I think. And we got one with strawberry one time, and ice, and they are so freaking good, guys. It is just like reminds you of being down in a nice warm climate like in Brazil. Just a great time. A cool thing about all the food and stuff here is you can get it delivered super quick. Like I said, I've never lived in the city, so I've never been able to like get food delivered so quick, and it is very cheap. A lot of people deliver food, and they just ride around on little motorcycles. You order it, and they'll be here in like 30 minutes. The number two thing I love about Brazil so far is the prices. It is less expensive to live here than it is in America. You can get dinner here for on average around like $6 to $10, and you can even go cheaper than that if you want. If you're creative, you can definitely bring that down some. If you go to the grocery store and shop and stuff, make your own food, it can be very cheap. Obviously, there's still ways to spend a lot of money here, like anywhere. You can waste a lot of money. But on average, it's a little bit less expensive than the United States, which is really nice. A cool thing about the prices is if you want to take an Uber somewhere, me and my roommate, we usually like to walk, but taking an Uber to somewhere that is farther away is super inexpensive. You can do it for just a couple dollars. And an interesting thing about Brazil is I was talking to one of our friends that is from Brazil, is that they don't really tip for like Uber and if you get food delivered and stuff. And oftentimes at restaurants and stuff too, the tip is usually built into the bill, she was telling me. So you can tip a little more, but it's usually built into the bill, so it keeps it super inexpensive. The third thing I love about Brazil so far is the weather. Now this one's a bit of a catch because I know it will get worse. Curitiba is like known as one of the worst cities in Brazil for the weather. It is still really good, but it does get a little bit cold here in the winter. So we are coming into the winter months here. It's the end of March right now, so like by the time it gets to June, it will be getting a little bit colder, but it's not going to be anything like it is back in Ohio where I'm freezing my butt off, muggy days, nasty. Here in Brazil, it's a lot nicer than that. Nothing too bad, so I can deal with it here. And when I get back to Ohio, it'll be July, so it'll be perfect weather there. But as long as I have been here for just basically March so far, it has been awesome weather. It will sometimes rain in the afternoon, but it's pretty much sunny every day, and I love the hot weather. I can take it being hot, so I love that, just the climate down here, the kind of beach vibe. We're a little bit away from the beach, about an hour and a half, but I love just kind of the beach climate that they have here. The fourth thing that I love about Brazil so far is just being in a new place and seeing new things. This goes for anywhere that you go. It is just so cool seeing new things literally every day. One of the things I think is really cool when we go to the park, we see these things called capybaras, like these big rodent, like big groundhogs, I'd describe them as for people like back in the States to relate them to. And I don't know, I just think they're really funny looking, and I laugh every time I see one. It's just like a big groundhog walking around. They don't pay any attention to you. You could walk within a couple feet of them and they would not care. It is so funny to see those. Also, just seeing like the cool trees they have down here, cool birds, just diverse culture, and seeing new things every day. Just the little things they do different. It'll open your mind, and just being in a new place, being uncomfortable, experiencing new things is definitely a good strength to have, and it opens your mind to possibilities. Also, guys, being somewhere where they don't really speak your language at all, barely anyone speaks English, so you're having to speak Portuguese and pick up on it down here. All the signs and everything are in Portuguese, so it is just really cool being somewhere where you have to really try to learn something, and I'm struggling to learn Portuguese, but I'm trying, and I really need to pick that up and get going because it's a great opportunity here to be in a new place where they don't speak your language and you kind of have to learn their language. So guys, those are 4 things that I love about Brazil so far after only 3 weeks. Keep that in mind. And I haven't been to much of Brazil, just Curitiba and outside to a different city one time when we went to the coast. But I'm going to list a couple downsides so far. These are minor, but some of them are affecting the stuff we're going through right now. One little one would be homelessness. There is some homelessness here in Curitiba. There's a decent amount in the part that we live. We're actually moving in a couple of days to another part of town because we just got an Airbnb for the first couple of weeks so we could look around, see where we wanted to live. That is something I would maybe suggest if you're coming down here. Come to one spot for a couple weeks and then go find somewhere that you want to live. It's easy to find a place here, so that's what we're going to do. But in the part we live in, there are look down every night and you see homeless people on the street. I feel very bad for them, but it's just something that they go through here in Brazil. There is some poverty in Curitiba. Another thing kind of goes hand in hand with this. Some parts of Curitiba can be a little run down. There'll be really nice buildings in one part, and then another part you can see maybe graffiti and just it's a little more dirty and run down. So that is kind of nice where you can come down here and see what part you want to move to. We're going to move to another part of town called Batel, which is a lot nicer. I've been there, and it just seems a lot more upscale and a nicer neighborhood, and I really like it over there. Not saying the part we live in now is bad. It'll just be a little bit nicer over there. And the biggest frustration so far, guys, has just been COVID in Brazil. Like, as soon as we got here, COVID spiked. It was like almost when our plane landed, COVID spiked here. And things were open for the first few days, which was really cool. We could go out, maybe a couple bars, restaurants, whatever. But now they have had a COVID lockdown for going on 2 weeks now, where restaurants can't really be open to sit inside. Like clothing stores, malls aren't open. You really can't travel much because a lot of Brazil is like this. So that really stinks, guys. It's putting a little bit of a damper on our trip. But still, there are so many new things to see. We've been trying to go to some of the parks that are open outside of Curitiba. A lot of them inside of Curitiba are closed. Like the gym is closed, which stinks because I like to work out. But there is still a lot of good things, and just being here, the little things you do, just going out is all new. When you're seeing so many new things every day, it's easy to get past this little lockdown. Hopefully it ends soon. If it keeps going, it's going to be a big damper, but I'm hoping it ends soon. So just like everywhere else in the world, Brazil is struggling with COVID, which stinks, but we're hoping to get through it. So that, guys, is what I like and kind of some of the downsides of Brazil so far. I really love the country, and I cannot wait to see more. I'm really excited to go to hopefully Rio de Janeiro when things open up a little more and the lockdown lessens, and also go to the coast, which Rio de Janeiro is on the coast. I want to see the Christ the Redeemer and all that cool stuff. There's going to be so much cool stuff to see, and I cannot wait to share with you guys. Thank you for watching this episode of E-Creeks Outdoors, guys. I hope you liked it, found it informational. Remember to keep traveling, keep having fun, keep living adventure style, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace out.